You might not have caught many Brooklyn Nets games this season, but if you have, you'll notice a few things. They play incredibly hard every single night, and the way that Cam Johnson has really elevated his game this season. Best known for his outside shooting, Cam's gotten to show his full offensive arsenal this year, and has been very effective in the process. I'm going to take a deeper dive into Johnson's game to show the various ways he makes a difference offensively, and why this could be sustainable long term. One interesting thing with the NBA is a lot of times players can be put in roles and not get the chance to play outside of them. This was Johnson when playing with the Suns, where the majority of his offensive possessions came shooting threes off the catch and scoring out in transition. He's still very good at those things, as he's knocked down over 41% of his threes off spot ups. Cam's also been fantastic in transition this year, where he averages over 4 points per game getting out and running, and ranks in the 90th percentile on a per possession basis. He's displayed this in a variety of ways, whether it's getting downhill and driving to the basket, or running the floor and finding openings in opposing defenses. When the Nets hired Jordy Fernandez from the Kings this past summer, given how players like Domantas Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox were utilized, it was safe to say the Nets were going to incorporate more handoffs in their offense. This certainly has been the case with Johnson, as 15% of his possessions have been out of the action, which puts him in the 97th percentile among all players this season. Though his ability to score in various ways and create for others off these handoffs makes him dangerous out of the action. As this possession gets started, you could see Johnson defended by Derek White and run to the left elbow to set a screen, though after setting the screen, he runs right to D'Angelo Russell to receive the handoff. Johnson gets inside the arc, and given the spacing, essentially has an isolation possession against an all-defensive guard in Derek White. Cam uses his size to back him down, and when he steps back for a potential fadeaway jumper, gets White in the air, and Johnson takes advantage of this by stepping through to hit the open floater. Here Cam has the ball and gets into pick and roll with Nick Claxton, though as he gets in the paint and sees there isn't a clear shot or potential lob, kicks it to Zaire Williams in the right corner, though as Williams takes one dribble inside the arc, look at Johnson on the right baseline. He's already moving to the right corner. Given Johnson's shooting off the catch and movement without the ball, this is an intriguing way that he can be utilized on handoffs. Cam gets the ball, and with his defender late to react and Zaire sealing off Darius Garland, he has a clean look, which he makes the Cavs pay for, knocking down the open three. This season, the sixth-year pro has also had more reps out of pick and roll, where he scored in the 65th percentile on a per-possession basis. Though there's room to grow here, as despite shooting well off the dribble from three this season, he struggled in a small sample size when doing so out of this action, though his ability to create for himself and others out of it has been encouraging. Here Johnson gets the ball and is defended by Terry Rozier as Nick Claxton sets the screen. While this is going on, you could see Bam Adebayo tag the screening Claxton, as he's prepared to drop to prepare for a potential lob or cut off a potential drive. What Bam did makes sense, though it doesn't account for Johnson being 6'8" and having around half a foot on Rozier. Cam uses the screen, and Rozier's on his hip as they get to around the free throw line. However, Johnson creates some space with the step back and is able to easily shoot right over his defender and knocks down the mid-range jumper. Cam gets the ball here on a handoff and is defended by Justin Champagnie while Noah Clowney sets a screen. He gets in the paint, but appears stuck as two defenders are focused on him, and there's no room to feed a pass into the rolling Clowney. Though Cam has other ideas, he patiently drives the baseline, and as he circles around makes a sharp turn and gets into a floater before his defender can get a hand up. The patience paid off and led to 2 points. The 29-year-old has also created for teammates out of the action as well. Here Johnson is in pick and roll with Day'Ron Sharpe, who sets a slip screen. Right away, you could see as Sharpe rolls, Lauri Markkanen on the left baseline is pointing for help as Cam is about to turn the corner. This looks like a potential advantage right away with Sharpe rolling, but not for the reason you might think. Johnson gets downhill, and as he's in the paint, you could see John Collins rotated over to try help cutting off the drive, or alter a potential pass to Sharpe. As a result, Cam throws a pass to a now wide open Noah Clowney in the right corner, who knocks down the three. Another area where Johnson's excelled this year is scoring out of isolation. It's still a smaller sample size, but but he ranks in the 88th percentile out of the action on a per possession basis. Though Cam has the ability to score here in various ways, whether it's getting downhill, shooting off the dribble, and when given the opportunity, can make the most of mismatches. Here, Johnson is defended by Torian Prince, and as he dribbles, you'll notice Tyrese Martin runs in to tag Prince before running into the paint. Though after that, Nick Claxton comes up to set a screen. Doing this forces a switch, as Cam now has a matchup against Brook Lopez in isolation. For most centers, assignments like this on the perimeter can be very tough to handle. Johnson gets downhill, and as he gets to around the free throw line, look how he's creating space. Cam makes a behind the back crossover while stepping back, and now has created a clean look. Lopez is trying to recover, but can't get a hand up in time before Johnson hits the jumper. This is yet another action where he's been able to create advantages for teammates. Cam gets the ball here in the left corner, defended by Grady Dick, and you can see space is cleared out for the isolation possession. Johnson starts to get downhill, and as this happens, also look at Dorian Finney-Smith along the right wing. As Cam drives closer to the paint, defenders start collapsing, and Finney-Smith's defender rotates to Day'Ron Sharp to eliminate a potential drop-off pass for an easy basket. Johnson goes into the air, and you think there could be a chance of that happening, though by that point, Finney-Smith is already drifting towards the right corner, and Cam hits him in stride, which leads to an open corner three. Now, with the regular season winding down after being mentioned in rumors this past trade deadline, the big question is what team Johnson will be playing for next season. Given the current going price for starting caliber players, the remaining 2 years on his contract are very team friendly, on top of other areas where he succeeded this year. The sixth-year pro has also excelled at scoring while coming off screens and cutting to the basket. Between that and the other skills he displays, that's a well-rounded offensive game that could fit with any team, and Johnson, from what he's shown this year, can also create his own shot if needed. I'm not sure how many were expecting Cam to become this type of player offensively, but seeing him evolve in this larger role has been fun to watch. Given the skills he possesses and the ways he's had success, it appears like this growth will be sustainable for the foreseeable future, whether that will be in a Nets uniform or somewhere else. If you made it this far, thank you, and if you enjoyed the video, don't hesitate to like and subscribe to stay up to date on my basketball analysis throughout the 2024-25 season.